let's go make this precious quilted witch hat. But first, always remember to share this so it will save to your profile and you can find it when you're looking for it again later. I started by going to hometownquiltcompany.com, downloading the witch hat template. It comes in a child size and an adult size, and there's also a mini size for a decoration. So choose which one you want. Then I cut my pieces out from the template, and now we're ready to sew them. So I'm going to take, this is the top of my hat, the angled cone, and I'm going to put these two flat sides together. And I'm going to sew down this side. Straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam, and I'm going to get the 1/4 inch seam by following the edge of my fabric with the edge of my presser foot. I'm going to back stitch when I start and when I stop because my grandma said so. I've sewn this. Now I'm going to go back and add bias tape to it, kind of like we did the coats. Well, actually exactly like we did the coats, because there's no lining, there's no way to turn it right side out. You could line it if you wanted to, but because I don't have one, a lining, I'm gonna add this double fold bias tape. Now it's exactly what it sounds like. It folds in and in again. Do you see that? So I'm gonna fold the top of this down so there's no raw edge, and I'm gonna start at the top. I opened it all the way up and laid it close to this raw edge right here, and I'm gonna sew in this crease all the way down. When I get about that far from the bottom, I'm gonna stop and cut it off and fold that bottom piece up so that whenever I fold it back over to sew it again, I won't have any raw edges. And yes, I'm going to backstitch when I start and when I stop, because y'all know my grandma scared me. If you've missed the other videos, this is from a quilt that I bought on Amazon for $30, and we're making all the cute things from it. This is what we have so far. We've opened it, we've sewn it. Now it will naturally fold, and if you let it fold back onto itself, it'll fold over, and it's gonna cover up that raw edge, just like this. Do you see what it looks like on this side? And then this is what it's gonna look like on this side. So you're gonna fold it back over, and then you're gonna sew down the other side, and that's gonna take care of the raw edge on the inside of the cone part of your hat. This is 3/4 inch double fold bias tape, and you can buy it in a whole bunch of different colors. I just happen to have a bunch of white, so that's what I'm using. But you could buy it to match whatever color your project is. We want to turn it right side out and make sure we poke out the top of it. Fingers, chopstick, handy dandy tool. Do not use your scissors. You'll be crying because you poked a hole. I'll be crying because you didn't listen to me. And everybody's crying. Let's just don't do it, okay? And this is the top of our hat. Y'all, it's so cute. Now, here's the brim of our hat. We're going to take the top of our hat and the brim of our hat. We're going to put the top in the center. You see this? The top is in the center, and we have pretty side to pretty side. We're going to sew this all the way around, and then we're going to put bias tape on it, just like we did the other part. If we keep making all of these precious projects, we're going to be bias tape queens. Bias tape is kind of like a zipper. It sounds intimidating, but it's really not. I mean, it's more intimidating than it is difficult, like a zipper. A zipper seems difficult, but I promise they're not difficult either. They're just intimidating. They were intimidating to me too. Okay. Now we're going to add bias tape to this, just like we did the center of the witch hat. We're going to open it up once again, fold the end of it down. We're going to place it next to the raw edge, and we're going to sew all the way around. When we get about this far from the end, I'm going to cut it off, but I'm going to cut it off about this far too much, and then fold that end up and keep sewing it down. But I'll show you. I get so excited about all the ideas that y'all have, and I want to know what all y'all want to make from the leftover pieces of this quilt. And I get equally as excited when I look at the photos of the things y'all have created. So make sure you're sending your project to hometownquiltcompany@gmail.com. Everybody wants to see. Here's the beginning. I had folded it down when I started. When I got back to the beginning, I just sewed on top of it and cut it off this much longer, so that when it folds up and over, you won't have the raw edge, because right here's where we started, where it's folded down. Now you're going to fold it over or let it fold back naturally on itself, and you're going to sew again all the way around. Now this is what we have, y'all. This is so cute. So now we're going to go and add bias tape all the way around the outside, just like we did the rest of it. And we're all going to be professionals at bias tape before it's over, because making the things with these pre-made quilts require bias tape or not. I do love to cut it with some pinking shears and leave it frayed. That's super cute too. Oh my goodness, look how cute this is. I love it. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher, and I would love for you to come sew with me.